An intelligent mind doesn't always need to be right, because it prefers to understand before winning. The wise don't speak to impress, they speak to transform. The more you know, the less you need to prove it. Not all silence is empty. Sometimes it's full of answers. What you reject most in others is often a reflection of what you don't accept in yourself. Unhealed emotional wounds become patterns you repeat without realizing it. The most dangerous manipulation is that which makes you believe you decide for yourself. You don't react to what is done to you, but to what it awakens within you. The greatest prison has no bars. It's the one built with your thoughts. True control is not in dominating others, but in dominating your own reactions. People treat you according to what you unconsciously allow them to. There are battles won with intelligence, and others avoided with wisdom, because not everything deserves your energy. What you criticize most in others is usually what you most fear to see in yourself. Words can be deceiving, but gestures and silence always speak the truth. Not all who remain silent are ignorant. Some understand so much that they prefer not to argue. Knowing when to retreat is also a form of victory. The wise don't seek attention, they seek balance. Sometimes, those who close the door on you are only pushing you toward where you belong. The wise don't beg for acceptance. They withdraw with dignity and learn in silence. Sometimes you don't need advice, just the courage to accept that you already know what you have to do. You're not stuck, you're learning to respect your own rhythms, and that's also moving forward. People don't always change. Sometimes they just lose their masks. Not everyone who applauds you is with you. Some just want to see you fall from a higher place. You were too loyal in places where you weren't even valued. Your absence in certain spaces isn't a loss, it's protection. You're no longer fitting in because you're no longer willing to please. Sometimes growing up hurts, but it hurts more to stay where you're not seen. It's not selfishness, it's the tiredness of giving where there's no reciprocity. Not all silences are cold. Some are necessary to avoid losing your sanity. Self-respect begins when you stop begging for what you deserve. If you have to insist too much, maybe it's not the place or the person. It's not selfish to set limits. It's respect for everything you've already survived. Learning to be alone is the first step to stop begging for company. What you're grateful for today was what yesterday you thought you couldn't bear. There are people who don't hurt you with screams, but with absences disguised as presence. Don't confuse attachment with love. Sometimes you're just attached out of habit. Not everyone who speaks nicely to you loves you. Sometimes they just know how to manipulate you. Being good isn't being naive. Being wise is knowing when to quietly walk away. Don't answer with words what time can answer with actions. Don't trust someone who is never wrong. They're probably also never sincere. You don't need to prove anything. People who understand you don't need explanations. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do is not say what you already know. Not everything can be answered. A few silences are your shield against emotional exhaustion. Sometimes the wisest move is to stay put and let others wear themselves out. Learn to observe more than you speak. He who listens well is rarely wrong. You don't always win with strength. Sometimes you win with the patience of someone who already understands the game. Don't react. Observe. Sometimes the one who remains silent is the one who truly dominates the situation. Intelligence doesn't shout, doesn't compete, doesn't need to demonstrate. It just acts and surprises. He who underestimates you has already lost, because he doesn't see the mind coming. That doesn't boast, but acts. The wisest is not the one who speaks first. It's the one who understands why others are speaking. Don't stoop to teach. Let time show those who don't know how to listen. Learn to let go of your ego. He who needs to be acknowledged is already being manipulated. Be careful what you say when you're hurt. The weak shout, the strong analyze. Let them think you don't know. It's easier to get ahead when you're not a threat. When you learn not to need, you become impossible to manipulate. A cold mind is not a lack of feelings. It's having felt too much and having learned to protect yourself. He who doesn't control his emotions will be controlled by those of others. Don't win arguments, gain clarity. He who understands no longer needs to convince. Being clever isn't cheating. It's knowing when to show your cards and when not to. Those who need applause to move will always be slaves to other people's opinions. Let the impulsive wear them down. Think twice and act once. With precision. Don't shine for everyone. Light also attracts flies. There are battles that aren't fought. They are understood, let go, and won with distance. An awkward silence sometimes says more than 1,000 desperate explanations. Emotional intelligence isn't gentleness. It's knowing exactly where not to put your energy. He who boasts most about what he knows is the one who most needs validation. When you learn to move quietly, the results do all the talking for you. Don't let them provoke you. He who takes you off your center robs you of your control. Strong minds don't need to shout. They feel silent. Sometimes, respect is earned by distancing yourself, not by explaining yourself. Don't share your plans. Let the facts speak for themselves when they can no longer stop you. Be kind, but not predictable. Be honest, but not accessible to everyone. While you react, others are already 2 steps ahead. When you stop talking so much, people start to show their true colors. I didn't respond out of respect, not for lack of response. Don't respond with anger. Let your growth be the response. He who learns to be alone stops surrounding himself with fear. Intelligent is not the one who speaks loudly, but the one who knows when to be silent and when to let go. The mind matures when it stops looking for blame and starts looking for meaning. You are not weak for feeling. You are strong for not giving up on everything you carry. Even if you go slowly, you're still going. Don't minimize your effort just because you don't scream out your pain. You're doing better than you think, not because of the results, but because you didn't give up.